Now let's look at modifiers. Okay, I can see over here, I have primitives, preview output, modifiers, grooming, utilities, and expressions. If I click on the modifiers, here's where I can add kind of quote unquote effects, if you will, to it. So if I come here, again, I've got my, I'm in the main hair, so male main hair, modifiers, and if I come here, I can choose different things. For example, noise. Okay, if I click on noise, I have to click OK. I can see that noise, if I add magnitude, so if I go to 10, now it's really, again, really noisy. Or I could even do more, let's say 20, if it's crazy noisy. And again, if I only wanted the noise to happen in a certain area, I could paint a mask. Okay, so we could mask off. So let's say if I painted this half white, I would have the noise over here, and this half would be black. It would have zero noise. Okay, same with the magnitude. I could paint masks or even frequency. So again, if I put this back to 1, it comes in very clean like that. If I put it to 10, it looks like this. Now we're going to kind of see stuff like this in other areas, and this is the root and this is the tip. Okay, so I want you to think about this as percentage of effect. So if the magnitude is 10, it's going to be really crazy. If I bring this down, okay, it's like there's zero effect at the root or the tip. But if I go like this, I can see that the effect of the noise is going to be more favorable towards the tip. If I go like this, now it's the noise is equal throughout the entire thing. And if I go this way, now the noise is only at the base, not the tip. Okay, so if I could even go like this. Let's say if I brought that down, I can click in the middle here, and now I can create noise in the middle. So now, and again, I don't know why I want this necessarily, but you can see kind of the control that I have. So there's no noise down here, there's noise in the center, and then there's noise at the end here. If I wanted to, I could tear this off, and now I have kind of a bigger area to work with. I'll just go ahead and leave it here. But let's say if I change my mind and I don't want that, I can click on this icon right here, and that'll delete what I had there. I could actually create as many points as I want. Okay, and again, you can kind of start to see the control that you have. So that is the modifiers. Now, if I click on this, I can add other modifiers. Let's say clumping. Okay, now if I click OK, some of these modifiers, like clumping, for example, I might need to click on Setup Maps, and if I do that, I might have to click on Generate and then Save before clumping can take effect. Okay, so the other thing too is that the order of this can change. Okay, so I feel like I could put you know, the order of these. So for example, if I add a cut modifier, okay, now I could change the order. I could have cut before noise, okay, or so on and so forth. And again, I could put masks on these, and of course you're going to have to kind of explore all these different ones, and this is not an in-depth tutorial on what all of these do. I'm just kind of giving you a breakdown of what these different things, what it looks like to work with this kind of stuff. Okay, and I should mention too, if I go back to primitives, we kind of looked at density up to this point. You can kind of start to see I can have more and more density, but I can also go to things like taper, for example. And if I go to taper, it's gonna, what tapering is, it's gonna taper towards the end, right? If I have zero taper, think of it as it's gonna be the same thickness throughout. But if I have taper towards the end, now it's gonna be, it's gonna taper towards the end. Also width, okay, so if I have width really big, again, with zero taper, okay, I can see the thickness. But again, this ramp widget, okay, this is the root. You can see that I could kind of create my own taper effect here. So this is the root, this is the tip. If I bring this down, I can start to see that that width gets thin and it's thicker down here. I could even bring this down and it's only a percentage of that. Okay? If for whatever reason I want it thicker in the beginning or in the middle, I could kind of go like this. And you can kind of, again, see how I can have some control. Okay. So these kind of these widgets and these controllers are really how Maya does a lot of different, control on that. And again, any of these I can create a map on. I could, and you can see there's a lot of different things that you can kind of explore. But again, this idea of modifiers, I could even turn this off at any point to see it without it, and then I can turn it on with, without, and with. Okay, cool. And oh, by the way, I should point out that it may have not updated. So if I go like this, if I turn this off, and if I turn this on, it may not be correct if it's sitting outside of the viewport. Okay, so it just keep that in mind. Or if you have a render zone, like if I go like this, and if I turn this on, and then turn it on, and then preview it, sometimes outside of this render zone might not be correct. So just kind of a word of caution there if you're previewing your hair. Okay, so hopefully that was cool. Taking a look at the modifiers with xGen.